Some Democrats are urging to pack the court, add more members to the Supreme Court if they win a Senate majority.
Packing the nation's highest court means expanding the number of justices to shift its ideology.
Would you consider adding more Supreme Court justices to the bench?
It's a legitimate question, but let me tell you, I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
Because it will shift all the focus. That's what he wants. He never wants to talk about the issue at hand.
If Judge Barrett is confirmed and the Democrats have control of the Senate next year and the White House and the House of Representatives, should the Supreme Court be expanded?
You know what, I think that, first of all, Joe's been very clear that he is going to pay attention to the fact, and I'm with him on this 1,000%, pay attention to the fact that right now, Lawrence, people are voting.
Democrats have to be thinking in more procedurally radical ways, right? Adding new members to the court, getting rid of the filibuster. Are you thinking along those lines? Do you favor those two policies?
Well, I think that we have to think short-term and long-term. Plenty of time when we win the election, House, Senate, and the White House, which we would today, but the election isn't today.
Once we win the majority, God willing, everything is on the table.
They just want to change the rules if they don't get what they want. So what we're going to say is this: if you want to pack the court, like Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee said, and others have said, then we want to put a constitutional amendment that said, let's take the heat of the moment out of this. Let's say the constitutional amendment said, if you want to pack the court, then it doesn't take effect until 10 years after it is actually the constitutional amendment is actually approved.
I would not get into court packing. We had 3 justices. Next time around, we lose control. They had 3 justices. We began to lose any credibility for the court has at all.
Keep in mind, Biden is very much an institutionalist, right? He is not somebody who likes to see norms changing in Washington quickly. And I think that's why when he got asked the question at the end by a reporter on the issue of court packing, he again demurred and said, this is not something that I'm going to address right now because I know very well if I say yes or if I say no, that is going to become the news. So I'm going to stay clear of that topic for right now.
I have heard that there are some people on the Democratic side who would like to increase the number of judges. If anything would make the court appear partisan, it would be that. One side saying, when we're in power, we're going to enlarge the number of judges, so we will have more people who will vote the way we want them to. So I am not at all in favor of that solution.
This time, of course, it's people on the left mostly who are freaking out that RBG died, their rights going to be taken away. But then in the same breath, they talk about packing the courts. So they want to essentially set a precedent for giving the government more power and control over our lives for partisan reasons.
When we talk about Democrats expanding the courts, and I don't like to use the phrase packing the courts because, in terms of branding, it just doesn't sound great. What we're trying to do is expand the courts and to bring about fairness and to bring about balance, to counterweight the fact that for decades, the Federalist Society has been grooming loyal partisans and installing them in courts, thereby making it difficult for Democratic presidents to even appoint anyone to the court.